I wanted to put a decorative design on the front of each bee box so that people can tell the hives apart when I'm talking about them. So I found one I liked, and then I traced it onto a clear baggie because I haven't found my transparencies yet, and I have an old school overhead projector that I bought at a church yard sale for $3. So I put it on there and I blew it up, and it's as big as the wall. So that's hilarious. So I can't do it that way, fail. So now I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to I'm going to color out the whole thing in pencil, and then I'm going to flip it back over on my bee box, and trace the design, and we'll see how that works. Alright, so I've got the whole thing colored out on the back. I'll flip it over, space it like I want it, and see how the tracing goes. Okay, so I've traced the L, and I can barely see that. I may see how a different method goes. I've seen some stuff online about wax paper, so let's check that out. Okay, so I'm not going to do the wax paper. I'm afraid that I will transfer it onto the box and then it'll mess up, and I only have one bee box, so I'm just going to keep on with this method. I think if I shine a light when I'm trying to trace it out with the black marker, that I'll be able to see it just fine. So let's get into that. One thing I've noticed that helps it transfer better, if I really bear down around the edges, it not only transfers the pencil from the other side of the paper, it also makes a tiny little indentation in the wood, because I have several coats of sealer on the wood, and I think that's helping it to indent the shape of what I'm tracing. I really wish my overhead projector, it would have worked. I just don't have my transparencies unpacked because our house is being remodeled and I didn't unpack all those unnecessary things. So if you're going to pick it up and look at it, make sure you put your hand on it so you don't move it around. But even the camera can pick up that that's the word love. So I think I'm going to be able to do it just fine. Okay, so I've got my husband's headlamp on. It's hilarious. So I can see it, but it's all traced in as far as tracing it off the paper. Now I'm going to go over it with the pencil one more time before I start to paint. Okay, so very good. It's coming together. I like to work top to bottom, left to right. All I'm doing now is going around each thing I traced. I did have to get my husband's headlamp though, because it is very faint in spots, especially like up here where I had this knot. I just had to kind of freehand it a little, but that's okay. I have a fair amount of artistic talent at times, so no big deal. And I'm keeping my picture close by so that if I come across something that I can't really see, I can reference the picture and look to see how it's supposed to be. But, this is like every other project. I thought it was going to take me about an hour and I'm an hour into it now. So, I'll finish tracing it, but I won't get to paint tonight because I just don't have the time. Alright, here's the finished sketch. I will be painting it in black, and then I'll put another coat of sealer on it. And this is just on my top brood box. I am naming all of my boxes after the fruits of the Spirit. I'm starting with love. And tomorrow I'll paint it and hopefully move on to joy. Thumbs up for bee boxes.